Great, thank you so much for that question. I'd like to start with one of the best greetings in the world that I know. Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon you all. Human Concern International, as Canada's very first and oldest Muslim organization based on Islamic principle, and myself also being the very first female executive director of a Muslim charity in Canada, that's a lot of weight to carry. There's a lot of expectation because the donation that we receive is mostly zakat based. That's actually compulsory giving on Muslims. We have to give that 2.5% from our wealth and saving every year. So that comes with a lot of responsibilities and religious boundaries as compliance, etc. For HCI particularly, before that, I'll go back to the word Iqra. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the word. In Islam, the very first word that was revealed to our Prophet was Iqra, which means read. So that emphasized the importance of education, knowledge, awareness, and that's exactly what we try to impose in our strategic approach at HCI. Anything that we do at HCI is very evidence-based, so that we know we're making the right decision, the best choices. We have pivoted quite a bit since 2019 when I became the CEO, from doing short-term, small projects, 10,000, 20,000, whatnot, to long-term, bigger projects. Because our vision at HCI is crisis to sustainability, moving communities from crisis to sustainability. So 5 things I would say very quickly for strategic approach is 1, purpose. We made sure that we went back in our history and met with our founders, we met with our community leaders that led for decades before us, and what was our why, what was HCI's why. So once we found out that purpose, we analyzed what are the resources, what are our capacities that we have, the resources we have, the expertise we have, and how do we hone on it even more, because you need to know what you have to say yes to, what you have to say no to. We can't be everywhere if you want to make impact. Third thing we did was we prioritized. We were very focused. We went from, if I go back to prior to 2019, we probably did 300 plus projects. Because there are projects that were 20,000 here, 50,000, but right now we probably do 100 or a bit over 100 projects. Our focus countries has with 14 instead of 50 plus. So we're very focused and we're prioritizing. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is obviously the leadership. It's very important. Diversification, actually, I'll put that before leadership, diversification. And that's the strategic approach that's been the cause for, main reason for HCI's win in the past 3 years since COVID. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, so there is partnership, programs, fundraising. We're diversifying all as much as we can. And one of the biggest win that we had in the recent years since 2020, since COVID, when ground events, because we're mostly ground focused on masjids, donations, events and whatnot. We were not very strong on digital and whatnot. So in 2020, we launched our social media influencers innovative fundraising approach. And that's what brought HCI in the past 5 years from $10 million to $50 million organization. And inshallah, we'll continue to grow and be more successful in our impact. So diversification, number 4, and number 5 is courageous leadership. That's part of our strategy because with all the growing crisis, conflict, geopolitical, economic, everything that's happening, it's very important that the leaders today are educated, informed, aware, on an ongoing basis, not just us, our team, our organization, we're scaling up in our capacity and our resources on an ongoing basis to make sure that we're able to, it will take a courageous leader, a courageous organization to do the right thing, I think, in today's world. So these 5 things, again, purpose, knowing your resources, capacity, continue to increase them, your being focused and prioritizing diversification and courageous leadership are the strategies at HCI, and we'll continue to work on those, of course.
Well,